Hello everybody, we're gonna do some modeling. Basically, I just decided to record some sessions of me modeling and hopefully maybe somebody can learn something or somebody can, I can attract some haters and then they'll hate my modeling and I can learn something, maybe what I'm doing wrong. Uh, that looks horrible, but yeah, that's not important right now. Right now I basically split this. This was one big piece, and now it's three different pieces, and I'm just basically splitting up the model into sections so it looks more realistic. Okay, so this this baby right here is gonna be separate. No. So that's gonna be separate. Mesh extract. And then, well, this this particular piece doesn't have any kind of cavings. This one right here, it kind of caves in, uh, lets the wheels have a place to go, have some space to go up there. I guess I want to do that same thing right here, so here we go. God, sometimes like the camera movements become hellish, and then you can click F. Let's say your camera is centered somewhere else and it's kind of like you're kind of like trying to get to the piece you're trying to work on. Just select it and click F and it centers, so that way we can focus on your task at hand. By the way, do I have this? Oh, okay, so basically on the front piece this only this goes inside, and I think this too, hopefully, probably. So yeah, that goes up and it's gonna be smaller inside, of course, just looks more realistic. There we go. Kind of, whatever, looks good enough. It works. Well, of course it's all like very slimy and kind of, it looks like Play-Doh. This whole part needs needs to be worked on, but since we're here, let's talk about this part right here. Not sure what I'm gonna do with it, but I kind of I like to sketch what I call sketch modeling. So for example, if I have an idea, I may do like a simple, very low poly representation of the detail I want to do, and I have several of those in different places, and I'm not rushing to complete this part. For example, I added this like a day ago and I was working a long time or in the front, and I'm letting my brain to get used to this detail, and if in a couple of hours or days I still like it and I still see that this could be used, then I go back to it and I work on it and bring it to the level of the rest of the model. So something like that. Always like to try to keep the polygons straight, so they're not bending and stuff like that. Oh, let's pull this back a little bit. Okay, so basically at this point we could connect them or we could keep them apart. That's always the question, isn't it? I think we'll keep them apart. Come on. I don't know why it's not selecting the edge loop. Oh, that explains it. I'm gonna do this technique. I think it's called paneling technique. Not really paneling. It's kind of like, I don't know. You make the detail kind of cave in. So if you do that on both pieces, although this one is not square, but basically they kind of look like they're just, you know, they're hugging each other, like, you know, like real objects in the world would. There are different pieces that are connected together. That's what I'm trying to go for, but this one is too circly. Well, it's not holding the shape, but that's the question, right? Do I want it to hold the shape? Do I want it to be more like square, or do I want it to have this curve to it? And that's always the question. Right now I'm not sure, so what I'll do is I'll take a break from that part. Not gonna really stress over it, and I'm just gonna do something else, some manual labor, like creating that effect. Oops, wrong. And I hate when this happens. I'm not sure. Maybe I'm missing something, and somebody could point out the right way to do this. But like every time I extrude these, I have to go in and do a bunch of, like a ton of pushing these vertices around, bullying them, because they're bad vertices, very bad. And then I'll go in the side view and check to see that it's such a mess. But basically, wanted to follow kind of. I don't know. I just like to have it clean. It's really not necessary, because when you smooth it, all that you know, chaos gets lost in the unsmoothness, or more like in the smoothness. Actually, I want that to be in the front. Yep. And we're gonna do the same here. Basically, lots of vertex pushing. This is something that's, you know, I'm really far from any professional modeler, so it's always been this question: am I just wasting time with pushing and pulling all these vertices, or is this what, you know, everybody has to do in some varying degree? Okay. There we go. A little down, a little up, and here everything is normal. Okay, so that's done. Insert edge loop, tighten it up. Tighten. It looks like a nice edge. Well, this one is not done yet, so it doesn't look like a nice edge, but at this point we could think about below here. I want it to look really technically, like I want there to be tons of, like, I don't know, the wheels right now are just like jamming into this shape, which is also really simple, but I want it to look really hard surfacey and like technical, but I'm kind of scared right now. I haven't plunged into that sort of detail. Oh, and by the way, a useful thing to do, which I did, for example, for the chairs. I designed the chair, but I thought, as always, I'll have new ideas, and then I have to go back and reposition and duplicate all these chairs again. So I basically created an instance. So it's duplicate special. You go to edit, you click on the object and you go edit, duplicate special, and the options box, and basically you can create a copy, which is probably the same as doing Control D. So duplicating, that was Control D. But here you can do instance. You can put it on instance, and then you can create an instance of this object. If I apply, bring it out here, see every change I do here reflects there. And the cool thing is also that you can transform. So for example, right now the scale is set to -1 on X axis, so it flips it when it creates the instance, the mirror. But if you set it to just 1, and it will be the exact copy. So yeah, what I did is I created all these instances of that same chair right here. So if I remove the roof over here and click on this and do face, you can see that all the faces on all the other chairs are also being affected. So I can modify this one chair and change all of them in the bus. Bus, tram. Well, I'm modeling this as a tram, but I keep calling it a bus because the design is too slick, and I decided I'm going to name this sport car tram, a sport tram, because why the hell not? Okay, let's do this part. No, this part. But now, by the way, I've already set up the lighting in the scene, just because sometimes it's kind of cool. It just kind of makes it a little bit more fun to work when you have custom lighting kind of prepared for rendering. It's not really that flashed out, but it's pretty cool looking compared to the default Maya gray look. I'll show you after I punch these vertices a little bit. Vertices are like, I don't know, my favorite thing to just spend hours and just moving around. I don't know, I think everybody, just almost everybody doing modeling would be extremely bored having to do this. And sometimes I'm sitting here just like pushing and pulling for literally ridiculous amounts of time, and then wondering to myself, why am I doing this? But it's just fun for me, I guess. Okay, so it seems like the last 10 or 15 minutes of the footage have been not recorded. I don't know, the recorder just decided to stop at some point. But I've been going forward, and so what I did, I have split this piece into several parts already, and I'm basically working on detailing the connections, like where they kind of like meet each other. So let's get to it. This one is done kind of, I mean, in the way of the connections it has on the both sides. But if you look from this side, this one is a lot more smooth because it doesn't have an edge here. So let's add that edge right here. Great. Although I'm not sure. Great. I don't know, I'm battling inside. I keep like, because this thing is supposed to be curvy, and I don't know, every time I do this, I'm like, yeah, it looks, it looks straight and good and everything, but I'm like, I'm going further away from the initial idea. Not sure if that's actually a bad thing or not. Oh wow, okay. Um, totally created a gap somehow. I guess this has to go here. Something like that. Je ne sais quoi. Okay. And so now let's do this thing, wherever this is called. I kinda learned it myself in a way. It was this eureka moment. Because for the longest time, as probably any beginner modeler does, I was just modeling everything out of one piece, and it was absolutely disastrous. It looked horrible. I'm sure if you remember your beginnings, or if you're a beginner right now, you can relate. Not that I'm an expert in any way, but at least I now understand that kind of. Do we want this to actually be? No, because yeah, that's why. Okay, so just the bottom left, and then we'll have to fix this issue, the clipping. Let's push it a little bit backward. No, not you. Great. Okay, let's fix this just by push. I don't know. I kind of don't like this thing happening here, but I guess we could just do that. Just don't like when the polygons are deformed too much. That wasn't too much, but I don't know. I just didn't like it. Don't ask me why. Oops. Wait. Oh, right. I already have a edge. I don't have an edge inside. And actually, I don't have an edge inside on almost any of these. We'll have to visit that again. And then again, this thing where there's no edge here, but there's an edge there. What if I just delete that edge? You know what, let's do that. Because I want it to stay a little more curvy. So now these two pieces match, but this doesn't. But that's because the edge that I would need to delete goes around and actually makes this straight, and that I want. I like that. So let's try just deleting it, just saying bye bye. Because see, the same thing happens here. It's sharp here and not sharp here. So I think we'll only benefit from overall just removing this edge. completely. And there's gonna be happening some weird stuff here, but we'll need to fix that right now. Isolate. Just delete the vertices I've created. Okay. This always happens. Make sure you don't forget to deselect the edge, the like ending vertices, because they get deleted, and the quad that they were a part of becomes a triangle. So you don't want that to happen. You don't want that. I'm telling you, son. Okay, so now we're just gonna merge these vertices back into the main edge. Okay, and we're going to move this one, but not these, and not this one, back. Great. And now we have our smooth shape back. Oh, well, now it's way too curvy on this side. Always problems. And the same is happening here. Okay, let's isolate it again. How can I run an edge on this side but not on this side? Well, here the edge would just terminate, so it's good. It would also terminate here, so it's also good. By the way, here's the triangle thing I was talking about. It happened here, so you have to delete. Extract. Actually, it happened down there too. Down here. Gotta be careful. All of this is a big waste of time. And of course I'm getting better every time I get better, but gotta be more careful. Okay, so it terminates there too, but the only problem is the fact that it circles around this piece. And what would we do about it? That is the question, is it not? We could make it go downward here. We could also make it go down here and make this shape square too, and it would actually help us instead of hindering us. Let's try that. So it will begin here, go up here, and it's a long journey. All the way over here. And done. Looks kind of weird, but I think it is gonna be okay when it's smoothed. Actually forced it forced this shape to go down, but then this edge is holding it up still, so maybe we do want to remove that edge and have it run like this downward. Let's try that. Oh god, this is gonna circle all the way around. Well, actually, the edge below is pretty much useless to us, so this is good. We get to get rid of some useless topology. Gotta remove the edges, but be careful. Okay. And these ones too. So this actually gets deleted, believe it or not. And this is what we get. This is weird, holy shit. Okay, that's one hell of a shape. Kinda ties in with the whole like design of the tram, but it's a little bit wonky right now. I mean, I kinda like this curve that gets built here, but I don't like the fact that it's tilted like this. What the hell is that, you know? So it would be great to fix that. And so the question is, how do we fix that? I could create a face here, and it would support. It's not doing a terribly great job though. It seems the same on both sides. I'm not sure why this side is holding up higher. It's probably because of this. Let's try adding some edges and see what helps. That doesn't help. That helps, but it makes it square and it goes around. That also helps, but this creates a double edge here. I mean, and then it goes, you know, does that useless edge below thing again. What if we what if we connect this to this and make this go here around, but when it reaches here it will go down? It may be worth a shot. But then again, just why not just leave it like this then? This is really pissing me off. We could use this. I mean, it looks pretty okay. It looks alright. And then we could use this to create some detail. Like we could make this go indent inward and create a panel that kind of like opens, maybe. You know, create some extra detail out of it. Yeah, that's what we'll probably do, but we're not going to do the detail right now. We'll push these edges back forward a little bit. Push this vertex to align it with the one below. And at that point, I'm saying that for now we're done here. The same kind of really needs to be done on this side though. And so I'll create the edge. Manually because it loops around. Oh, they're not connected. Ah, damn it. Okay. Oops, let's connect that. There we go. And let's create that same shape here. Extrude. Great. They're not completely evenly sized. Actually, so I'm just gonna push some vertices a little bit right here. There we go. Too small of a detail. Okay, stop. Fussing over very little things. Not too great. Okay, now we have a uniform edge along the fuselage, hull, whatever you call it. It's not an airplane, so it's probably not a fuselage. Anyway, let's check here. Okay, this one's done. This side is not. This one. So yeah, find for yourself fast ways to select things because you know it makes it 100 times better. Like double clicking to to do an edge loop. You'll see various ways I select that you know, a beginner would probably not realize you can do, and they're very useful. And again, I'm a beginner too, but I'm a little bit more advanced beginner kind of. Like this one video in which Mark Brunet said that he's a soccer couch among artists. He's not a teacher. It's like a soccer couch in a soccer team, in a kindergarten soccer team. The same is here. I'm not even a kindergarten couch. I'm like a what would you call, like an assistant, like a boy that wants to become a couch maybe, and he's helping the couch. I'm not even that good really. Oh, but yeah, I wonder really how people do hard surface in ZBrush. I'm like, I've been doing ZBrush, but holy hell, it's just so complicated. It's so hard to do something like something easy like a freaking box. It's just I don't know. ZBrush looks like a hell to me. I don't know. I don't wanna. I'm really scared of using it. Okay, so this whole thing is just coming out down here, which is nowhere near being ideal, but we can't push it back because it's also visible here. Not great at all. What can we do? Well, we could push this edge outward. Could do that, but to do that we also need to push the vertices here backwards as well. Then we also need to create a new face that goes inward. So I'll push this out as well. How many need to be pushed out? It's hard to say really. As long as I keep pushing them back, they're going to be pushed back. But I need to run an edge here anyway, so I guess that's okay. I'll push all of them back. Let's make the roof invisible. So then we'll do this, and then we will isolate, select all the vertices, these ones as well, and then push it back enough so that this black thing is not bothering us, and then select the edge. No, not that. Select the edge. Again, leave only the what we're working with. This. not that. Okay. This, and we're going to do face row like that. Good enough. And then we will push this babe that backwards to create a smooth transition when later we add like a downward thingy in there, and we are going to do that. Okay, so now this looks much better. Still showing through, a little bastard, but we'll worry about that later if it actually isn't being hidden well enough. Okay, we could just do that. Yes. Good enough. My favorite tactic. Good enough. Nope, it shouldn't be enough ever. Never should be enough. Should strive for greatness. Never stop. Conquer the challenges that arise on your road. Failure at trying to do epic voice, because my voice is not deep enough. I can't do that, which is a failure of creature design. I was designed with a flaw. What if you could file a lawsuit towards nature? Nature denied me deep voice. I request moral compensation. Yeah. I don't know, I'm just, again, these shapes are just pretty basic. I've created them and yesterday, and they've been sitting ever since, and I'm just kind of like letting the ideas flow in and out, and maybe something hits me at some point like, aha, I should do this, and then I'll work on it. But for now they're just sitting around because they're good enough. Right now I'm really focusing on tightening up the base, like the below part. It should all kind of seamlessly flow together and look as if it's finished, kind of not detailed but kind of done, and then come details. The sport car tram, it looks like a sport car. It's so funny, but I like it because it's such a weird, kind of connection. Okay, well, let's look at this piece right here. What a mess. Such a complicated piece. I feel like it needs to be divided. But I feel different things, and they're not always correct. Alright, well, let me think about this a little bit, and we will be back. Okay, I'm back, and I decided to say screw to the back. Screw it for now. We will focus on something else, and that is the cockpit, in a way, because this trolley, not trolley, this tram doesn't really have a cockpit, of course, because this is not some kind of airplane. But actually, now that since these are not mirrored, I have to do both at the same time. What the hell is that? Okay. That's great. I'll fix that later. It's not really a big issue. Let's just raise the floor. Okay, well first I guess I gotta do this. Come on. And then only. What the hell is happening? What? Why? Why would you do that? Oh my god. Too many issues. What if I just put this down? I think that's the best way to approach this situation. Go well. Yeah. This. Just chill, bro. Chill. Okay. Now let's chill. Okay, so there's some stuff that needs to be addressed here. These nuts, these things cover kind of like the extrusion upward from the wheels. This thing up there, these kind of cover it, and this too. And okay, so this kind of is like the disabled people's area. So if they come in on a wheelchair, I guess I didn't really think about the fact that, you know, a wheelchair can't go up the stairs. Yeah, well, I guess this thing is not gonna be made into an actual tram, so I don't really have to worry about it. But okay, otherwise, of course, it wouldn't be as tall, and it would probably be just like, you know, the wheels would be the same size, but the whole thing would just be brought downwards, and the floor would be really close to the ground. But I don't think disabled people can get on trams anyway, because I don't know, that's what I think, because I've not seen a tram that has the ability to get on it for the people in the wheelchair. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Maybe they're just standing here because, for example, myself, I like to stand many of the times when I'm in public transport, and so maybe there's people standing here. There will be like things to hold on to, of course. That's detail. We'll add that later. But let's check the topology. So we have this line going here, but we have nothing here yet. we have a line going up down here, I mean up here, but not here. So what I could do is I could just there's just like I'm thinking about it, because there's always different ways to do it. You know, I could push this downwards, and I could push this downwards too, and leave this here, and I could just add two more new ones. You know, there's multiple ways of doing the same thing, and in a way, whatever you choose will influence the model down the line. Hours later, when you're doing something else, you will suddenly realize that, you know, this new thing that you added actually messes up something down there. And this kind of stuff, it's important. You have to think about it. You can't just like randomly slap edges all over the place and hope for the best. And so you have to really think, you know, think through. In this case, I think it's the best. It's probably the best. I'm hoping it's the best idea to just add new edges. So I'm going to do just that somewhere here, and then somewhere here. But actually, I think I don't want this here. I want this to curve like this. The way this curves, I like that. I want this to do the same. And for it to do the same, I have to get rid of this and that. So I have to tuck this. Oh, see, this is what I was talking about. So now I realize that I don't want this edge. So if I go back to this decision of the adding the edges, I could just push this down here and make it connect with this edge. Not connect, but kind of like, you know, be the continuation of that edge. And it goes away from here, and these two pieces will have a similar shape. See, like, this is what I'm talking about. It's good that I didn't go too much forward. Let's remove the edges I added. That, okay. Now we can push these to wherever that is. Okay. And I feel like there's something behind that I forgot. Yep. There we go. Very good. This already follows the curve, but for some reason I'm not sure what's happening over here. I don't remember working on this. Let's take a look. Okay, that's not good. Yeah, this is not good at all. Okay, let's redo this region. Sometimes the movement doesn't work with the middle mouse. It doesn't go the direction you want. And it's so annoying. It's probably like one of the most annoying bugs in life. Just like have to click click on the arrow, and that's so much to do. That's too hard. You can't ask me to click on arrows. That's a blasphemy. Let's do that. Okay. Alright. What do we do now? This here just abruptly ends at this piece. And this piece is not perfect because it looks ugly when smooth. It's kind of like this weird ass shape. It's really not cool. Really not cool. Okay, so we have to do something about it. Well, let's isolate it again and try to see what kind of beauty modeling we could do. Extrude all these edges. Delete this. Breach that. And this will probably connect. I don't know. Looks ugly. It's not an ideal shape. Probably don't want that to happen. This is worse, though. What if I separate them? That would be perfect. That would solve so many problems. What if I separate? You've got to separate. You've also got to separate in a way so it's kind of like cool, nice looking. So it kind of makes sense. So, for example, separating these from this would make sense. So let's do that. Separating what? I guess just this shape. From the on the floor piece. Let's try that. Oh, I forgot. I forgot the inside pieces. This, and better do this isolated face. Oh, I forgot. This and that too. Mesh extract. Isolate. Please. Mesh extract. Now we can connect this more easily, and then we also want to push this edge a little bit down. I don't know, I just want to. Don't ask me why. Okay. Subconscious McDonald's song. Probably hungry, not sure. And we want to do the same here, because separating stuff always helps. The more pieces, the kind of harder it gets to keep track, but easier it is to manage all the crap that's happening with the model. This and that. Yeah. yet. And the same with this, just like the other side. Extract. So kind of my workflow has become kind of like model until it becomes too complicated and then separate it into different pieces. Absolutely no idea if that's a good way to look at it or a good way to go about it, but you know, it's the only way I know. The only way I kind of developed for myself. But now we're getting this issue here. But I think that can be solved. Actually, I'll keep that for a little bit later. I'll just smooth it so I'm seeing the problem. Because I think I wanna think about the overall kind of what's the mesh doing here thing. Probably want to do the edges here, the inside stuff, just so it's always smooth and inside I have a clear understanding of what the shape is doing. Right now I don't have that, and so it's kind of hard to work on the front. But yeah, but you know what, I think I'm just going to wrap up this session, and this was my first ever modeling session. And if I thank you for watching. If you are still watching, I am incredibly what is it, what how to say this, I'm incredibly proud I guess, that you were able to, you know, watch through my blabber, because for example for me I find it a lot easier and more interesting to work when I have some other person working in the background. For example, I put some concept artists on YouTube like Feng Zhu or Mark Brunet, and I watch them, and it's just like so much more relaxing. It's kind of like you feel like you're in the industry already. You feel like you're in the real deal, and it kind of makes your workflow a little bit easier and more fun. And I'm not a professional, of course. I'm still working up to getting into the industry, but you know, maybe somebody finds these blabber sessions interesting, and maybe it will help them to overcome some things in Maya, some issues, and just overall get some inspiration. But yeah, thank you for watching again, and we'll see you in the next modeling sessions.